Well, hello everybody, and welcome. Thanks for watching. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but holidays, end of the year, all that stuff, things piled up. Anyway, I'm back. Welcome to 2023, and hopefully I'll get my videos coming at a more regular pace. There's no hope for me fixing my language problems though. All right, so anyways, let's get started. Today's video is the Rolling Stones albums, LPs, vinyl in my collection ranked. All right, I've got 18 Rolling Stones albums on vinyl, so we're going to go from 18 down to my pick for number 1. That's a lot of them, so probably going to break it into 2 videos. Who knows? I've seen some long videos out there, and I watch other people's long videos, so maybe I'll watch my long one. Who knows? Fast forward. Let's go. Let's get started, right? Number 18. Is it my least favorite album? I don't know. I have different criteria for how I rank them. I'll try to fill you in as I go by them. First of all, what I want to mention, number 18, right here. Let's get rid of that glare, right? Hang on. Number 18 is Aftermath. All right. Now, one thing I want to mention very quickly is my very good friend, longtime friend I've had for like 25 years, Diablo, gifted to me many, if not all, of my early 1960s Rolling Stones albums. I just didn't have any of them. They don't show up that often in the used bins that I frequent. And to be honest with you, I'm not a super big fan of the early Stones, early 60s Stones, early career. They do, a lot of cover stuff that doesn't quite grab me so much. And a lot of it is in mono. The stuff on vinyl is in mono, and that doesn't grab me either. And I just happened to become a Stones fan a little bit later in their career. So that's probably also why I favor that. But I still love them, right? Number 18, Aftermath, Rolling Stones. What can I say? Including Paint It Black, all right? So this is kind of like a compilation of their early stuff. And yeah, to be honest, like I'm saying, there's really only a couple on this album that I dig. Paint It Black, of course. Lady Jane, Under My Thumb, love that cut. That's almost it, man. High and Dry. After that, the other ones are just I can pass, right? I can take a pass. So there we go. Number 18 in my Rolling Stones collection. Number 17. This one is very cool. Personal. I should switch it. Yes. So that's going to switch. 17, Flowers. Okay. Another compilation of early 60s cuts. Okay. This is right about the time where Stones are getting kind of tired of Brian Jones. And to throw in a quick little trivia, there's talk about that's the reason why Brian Jones didn't get leaves on his Little Flower, because he's about to be gone as a Rolling Stone, unfortunately. Or fortunately, because the band carried on, they changed. But you cannot discount Brian Jones in any way, shape, or form. He's one of the leaders, founders, great musicians on their early stuff. So, Brian Jones, right on. What's on here? Ruby Tuesday, wonderful song. Have you seen Your Mother Baby? Standing in the Shadows. Now, these are a little bit more of the singles from those early days that I love. Let's Spend the Night Together, Lady Jane, I love those. Out of Time, Backstreet Girls, pretty cool. Mother's Little Helper, how about that, huh? Mother's Little Helper. The Stones are already starting to dig into making social commentary with their music and moving beyond that little pop stuff of wanting to hold somebody's hand. All right, that's number 17. Number 16, coming up, Get Your Rocks Off. This one also has a personal connection. Get Your Rocks Off, bootleg, made by Trademark of Quality. I forget what these guys' label brand is. But they're famous for bootlegs, and it's one of theirs by that little stamp there with the piggy. Look at this. Colored vinyl. gold vinyl. It's a double album set live, and on top of that, it's the Stones at the Forum here in Los Angeles. Very, very nice. I think it's, oh, there it is. LA Forum, June 72. LA Forum, June 72. Unfortunately, a little chewy in the corner there, but somebody was teething on it or something. But what can you say? My friend said, I know you're the biggest Rolling Stones fan I know, and I'm going to gift this to you. Somebody gave it to me. I don't love the Stones that much, and so here you go. And wow, great, right? And blue and gold. Yeah, double album, colored vinyl. Wonderful. You're going to own a bootleg? That's not a bad one to own, right? That's number 16, I believe. Number 15 coming up. Another compilation, but this is a great compilation. Made in the Shade. I love this compilation. If I'm not mistaken, this introduced me to the Stones as a band that makes albums. And for a while there, I actually thought it was a straight up album. I used to think, what a fantastic album. But it's actually a compilation. But it's still a fantastic album, which is why I've got it counted here. What's on here? Look at these. This is just hit after hit after hit, right? Brown Sugar, Tumbling Dice, Happy with Keith, Dance Little Sister, Wild Horses closes out side one. Great side one. Flip It Over. What do I get on side two? Angie, Bitch. It's Only Rock and Roll. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Heartbreaker. Closes with Rip This Joint. Stones at the height of their power right here. Was that number 15? I always lose my track on these. I hope I'm right. Number 14. There's no name on the front of it, and I know, and it's escaping me. The name of the album is escaping me here. What the heck is it? Let's see. Will I get a clue if I do this? Here's the back. Oh, Between the Buttons. Side one starts strong. First four songs are fire. So let's see, what are they? Let's spend the night together. Yesterday's Papers, Ruby Tuesday, and Connection. That's a straight up fire opening four songs. There we go. And then the rest of that all kinds of kind of becomes just unforgettable for me. But the first four songs on here, bang, Between the Buttons. All right, so there we go. What was that? 14? Lucky 13 is Undercover. All right. This is when the Stones are in their tumultuous phase. They're fighting with each other. They're barely seeing each other when they record, if at all. But I like some of the cuts on here. What's on Undercover? Let's have a look-see. Undercover the Night, I'm so on that. She Was Hot. I love that song. Yeah, it's a great little single. They were still able to do that. Tie You Up, Pretty Beat Up, Too Tough, All the Way Down. So there you go. A lot of people won't even put Undercover on their list, but me, yes. All right, so that was lucky 13, but see, I got that number 13. It's not the greatest. All right, number 12. Rolling Stones compilation. This is a gift album, I remember for sure, that came to me from Diablo's collection. All right, and these are originals, man. Speaking about that Diablo connection, I made some videos about the albums that he gifted to me. He was going to restart his vinyl collection, and he was actually like piecing out his early collection. These are all albums that were bought, store-bought in the store upon their release back in the 60s. Diablo came home from Vietnam vet, came home, built an album collection that you wouldn't believe. It was huge. He allowed me to cherry pick it before anybody else. So thank you so much, Diablo. Points to you, credit to you. And here, and they became, I never had these albums, till he gave them to me. Rolling Stones, Through the Past, Darkly, Big Hits, Volume 2. What's on here? What have we got? We got Honky Tonk Women, Ruby Tuesday, all the hits, right? Street Fighting Man, I've Seen Your Mother, Baby, Spend the Night Together, 2000 Light Years from Home. This is my only version of it on vinyl. I love that. I love that psychedelic song. That's great. Some people don't like that album it came off of. I think it's Beggar's Banquet, and but I love that one. No, it's not. It might not be Beggar's Banquet. It's the one with the blue, I think, with a blue luminescent cover. I have it on CD. We'll talk about it when we do CDs. Either way, this is my only copy of that cut on vinyl. So that's one big reason that I love this album. Mother's Little Helper's on here. She's a Rainbow. So very nice. Great. And the album cover is cut. The album cover is cut in a, what is that, a hexagon? Hexagonical shape. Here's the outside. You know what? Now I remember more. I'm glad that I opened this and show it to you, because I remember now Brian Jones, this was released like I think a couple of weeks after he died. It was already on the schedule. Brian Jones, 1943 until 69. This is what they put on his tombstone. Here it is, and they put it here in the album for us. When this, I do my glasses. Here we go. Hope you're enjoying. Here we go. So here, Brian Jones. When this you see, remember me, and bear me in your mind. Let all the world say what they may. Speak of me as you find. Words from stones to a dead stone. All right, so that was number 12. Number 11, we're going to guess. I think we're right. I think this is number 11. Here we go. This is, excuse me, Goat's Head Soup. I love this album. But you can see some other albums of theirs I love even more, because I love this one, and yet it's number 11. Didn't even make top 10. But this album is really great. Goat's Head Soup. Here we go. Up, and it opens. Show you. Everybody's like in those weird, I don't know what, like murder. I always thought they were like murderer things. Like when they put you in a bag, like when the mob's going to, take you out. Or also sometimes I look at them and I think of them as like when you buy a flower and it comes in that cellophane wrap. Like a single flower, or sometimes a bunch of flowers, I guess. Anyway, I have no idea what the intention was behind that, but that's what I think of when I see it. And here's the sleeve, Goat's Head Soup. There's Billy Preston, front and center, proudly. And we have the insert poster from that. There we go. Great, right? The Goat's Head Soup. I've always wanted a t-shirt with that Goat's Head Soup, but I didn't, with that goat on it. But I didn't get the t-shirt. I'm looking for let's see what's on here, right? Dancing Mr. D, I love that cut. Coming Down Again, Heartbreakers on here, the original Angie album that this came out on. So here's Angie, closes out side 1. Opening side 2, Silver Train, great. And one of my top favorite, gets me emotional Rolling Stones songs ever, Winter. Love that song. I love how Mick sings on that song. I mean, just so evocative, so emotive, and he makes me feel it, man. And I get emotional when I hear that. I love it. And if I'm not mistaken, so let's see who's playing on here. Mick Taylor. Mick Taylor's guitar on Winter. I mean, those two things combined are just like so awesome. All right, so there we go. Otherwise, the last one we saw was Goat's Head Soup number 10. I incorrectly called it number 11, but it's actually number 10. Okay, so let's continue and close out the top 10 favorite Rolling Stones albums of mine. Number 9, What Exile on Main Street? How is it so far down the road? How come it's not number 2 or 3? Because I just have other albums I like better. But this album originally came with postcards. I don't have them. I got this one used. Exile on Main Street. Many of us know already that this was recorded in France at their private castle with people coming and going, and they turned like all these dungeon basement rooms with cement and big spaces, and they were in separate rooms and recording like in this ancient French castle that they just recorded in. So kind of a cool story behind the making of the album. And many people love Exile on Main Street, you know. We get like Sweet Virginia, which I love. I saw them do, finally, I saw them do it live last time that they were here. No, that was two tours ago. Second to last tour at the Rose Bowl. They played the Rose Bowl and they did Sweet Virginia, and they did it out on the stage, on the far stage, and they did it acoustic. Wonderful. That was so great. Torn and Frayed. What else is on here? Loving Cup. They started doing that in their later years of concerts. They started doing that live a lot. Rocks Off is on here. Rip This Joint. Shake Your Hips, I love. Casino Boogie. Tumbling Dice is on here. So a great cut. Let me get this back in the sleeve just so I take care of my vinyl. And what's here on this? This is side 3 and 4 here. And we get Happy is on here. Ventilator Blues, I love. All Down the Line. I'm kind of halfway on that one. I like it and then I don't, you know. So there you go. I don't love every cut on it. It's kind of like, but you know, it's great to have a double album of theirs and all originals. And they're all just, the whole story behind the making of the album and everything makes it extra magic. So I love it. That's number 9. Here it comes. Number 8, my favorite all-time number 8 Rolling Stones album. Get Your Ya-Ya's Out. I saw another video of another guy that was ranking his Rolling Stones albums, and he said, if you only get one Rolling Stones live, get this one. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't think so, which we'll discuss later, which my favorite Rolling Stones live albums are on CD, actually. But, you know, we'll do that later. Otherwise, what? To discount this? Of course not. It's in my top 10. So I love this album. And I have 2 versions of it. I have 2 versions. One is a remix, update, and cleaned up version, which is great. So, you know, I have the original, and then I have the remix, update, cleaned up version. So that's really cool. I love this. Sympathy for the Devil's great on here. I'm just going to go with that. Just, this is worth it just for Sympathy for the Devil. That cut alone. Okay, was that number 7? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is number 7. Here we go. Top 7. It's Only Rock and Roll. Love this album, of course. What does it say here? This one I got to write some notes. The first time the Glimmer Twins are listed as producing. This is the last album that Mick Taylor appears on. And then it also has my favorite Mick Taylor solo, which is on, what is it? Something Young. Time Waits for No One. It's my favorite Mick Taylor solo. I always put forth when I listen to this solo that I think he was being influenced by Carlos Santana. Listen to this Time Waits for No One. Listen to Mick Taylor go off. It's a great solo. I'm not saying he's, you know, copying Carlos, but I'm saying I hear the influence in there, and I wonder if he was influenced. Mick Taylor. It's Only Rock and Roll, baby. So that's number 7. Number 6, my 6th favorite. Hang on a second. I've been talking a lot, if you don't mind. Okay. Number 6, favorite, Voodoo Lounge. We get into the later versions of the Stones, and this is pretty much the era that I started seeing them in concert. Right around this period. I didn't see the Stones live like in the 70s or anything, but right around that Voodoo Lounge time. That might have been the first tour I saw. And then after that, I didn't miss a tour, except for when we got later, like the 2020 Zip Code tour, it was called, I think, Zip Code. That one I didn't, it was not in 2020, but I think it was called Zip Code, and I didn't get to go. But here we go. Look, what's on here? Love is Strong. I love this. You got me rocking. I love that cut. Sparks Will Fly. Love this. The Worst, one of Keith's great singles. I'm out of tears. That's a great vocal by Mick. So good. I Go Wild, brand new car. You want some of their sexy, slinky cat bluesy stuff? Brand new car. That's a great one right there. Sweethearts Together is great. They got Flaco Jimenez from Texas Tornadoes and from just being Flaco Jimenez, one of the greatest acordeones in the world, in Mexican music anyway. And they have him on Sweethearts Together. That's great. I always love that the Stones recognized his talent and brought him on board. And what have we got? Finally, we got Blinded by Rainbows, Baby Break It Down. So I love all of those cuts. This is a remix, remaster, half-speed double album. So on top of that, it's even more wonderful because of the studio magic where they were able to make it a very enjoyable listen. This, speaking of things that I wanted on a t-shirt, I had this as a Rolling Stones t-shirt. I still have it. So very cool. I love it. That's probably one of my top rock and roll t-shirts ever that I ever owned. So that's great. And then the sleeves have these great, like red hot, kind of hot tinted Diablo kind of hot feel to them. Hades and Heat and the. There we go. They've got portraits of the Stones, Charlie there, and the other side, and there's old Keith. There you go. Voodoo Lounge. Right on. Love that album. I will play that album a lot. Next up, I keep losing my count. 1, 2, I'm a little bit stoned. 3, 4. I don't apologize, but that's why I'm messing up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is number 4, my top 4. Black and Blue. I love Black and Blue. A lot of people will put Black and Blue further back in the line, but that's me. I love this album that much to be in my top 4 and down. What's on this album? Let's see. Let's pull it out. Get this out of that wrap. Black and Blue, another fold-out cover. Great photo of the boys. There we go. And look at the backside where you look at it like this. You also get this fantastic shot of the band. There, Charlie Bill Wyman is still with the boys at this point. Black and Blue. Love the album. What are some of the cuts that are on here? Let's see. Melody's good. Fool to Cry. Oh man, I love that. I love that falsetto of Mick is starting to falsetto in more and more songs. Hot Stuff. Love that. Hand of Fate. Cherry, Oh Baby. The Stones are starting to give us reggae vibes. Cherry, Oh Baby is reggae'd up. And Memory Motel on here. Just today, I just mentioned, I love Memory Motel. I love the live version where they Mick duets with Dave Matthews. And I just love that cut much more than this studio LP cut. Number 4, here we go. Some Girls. Fantastic album. Now we're really moving into just top-notch Rolling Stones stuff again at the height of their powers. Some Girls. This is the first LP with Ronnie Wood as a full-time Rolling Stone. And we get Mick Jagger becoming the third guitar. And now he becomes a guitar player. He's really very good. He holds his own. He's good in concert. I've seen him live playing guitar. And they start to move away from piano. They bump up that third guitar in the mix, and the piano starts to fade away. We start to move away a little bit from that honky-tonk, and where piano was prominent in the 50s and 60s rock. We're starting to leave it behind. And we also start to get, disco with on here. And so this is great. And I love this cover, my album cover. I love it because I have one of the earlier, rarer copies, because when they first put it out, they used all these celebrities. And Liza Minnelli sued because I guess they didn't have permission to use some of the faces that they used. Liza sued, and they couldn't print any more album covers with her face. And then later, they even stopped having the fold out. All you got was like a flat picture. But I'll show you here. Oh, you can see first pressing. See my note? I made a note. First pressing, uncensored celebrities, Liza Minnelli included. And they have this is what they did. They made it, this was kind of cool, so you could move the faces around with it and play with it. All right, and then you could flip it over on this side, and you had this version of people. So there we go. I don't have the Liza Minnelli picture circled or anything to show you very quickly. So I hope you saw her, and I hope you identified and said, oh yeah, there's Liza, I see it. Okay, number 3, my third favorite Rolling Stones album in my collection, and of all time, really. Third best, Tattoo You, classic. Opening song to closing song. A masterpiece. It's not number 1, but I call it a masterpiece. Tattoo You is so fantastic. One reason why I was getting so confused in my counting is because some albums I have 2 copies. See, this one, I got the picture disc. All right, so I bought this picture disc of Tattoo You. And so I kept double counting it, and that was throwing me off on my counts. But what's on Tattoo You? Why do I like it? Of course, what it says includes Start Me Up, that on the hype sticker there. Start Me Up was great. You know, everybody loves it, of course. And then for now, I just heard Start Me Up on an Applebee's commercial. Commercial as hell, but that's what Mick does. He makes millions hand over fist, so I'm sure he turned a great deal with Applebee's. But what I'm getting at is, look at them. They're still in the culture. That song from this album, Tattoo You, is still hanging around. As I said, masterpiece, and is being introduced to a new generation, regardless of whether it's announcing dollar chicken wings or whatever the hell. It's still a viable, wanted, desired, loved song. Okay, what's on here? This is side 2, actually. So this is a little small print. Let me get my glasses. What's on side 2 here? I'm worried about you. Oh my God. Side 2 by itself is a masterpiece. Just side 2 by itself stands up. You don't even need side 1. I actually love side 2 more. But worried about you. Man, every time Mick and the boys do that in concert so beautifully, so wonderfully. Once again, emotive, evocative, songs that really touch me live. That I'm worried about you. There was a couple of tours where they did that song, and they did it so well, and just almost brought a tear to my eye because different reasons. What else? Heaven is on here. That jangly guitar is starting to become more prominent as well. That's such a beautiful cut. What do you call it? Underrated. Because Heaven just doesn't get mentioned, and it's such a beautiful song, man. That cut. If you're not familiar with it, man, go Google it. Go look it up. Waiting on a Friend is on here. Again, another fantastic cut. They're at the height of their powers. How long have they been at the height of their powers? They've had different peaks. Let's put it that way. And they were peaking at this time, most definitely. Waiting on a Friend. And it was such a fantastic video for those of us who grew up and saw that video on MTV and whatnot back in the day. Oh, whoops. Start Me Up is on here. Starting off, this is side 1. Pardon me. Hang Fire is on here. How awesome is Hang Fire? I love that song. So that's on here. That's number 2. So you go Start Me Up, Hang Fire. Great. Slave. Great. Black Limousine is on here. On this side as well. I love it. But I tell you, side 2 really is the side that I can't wait for side 1 to play so I can get side 2 on, because just the whole vibe of side 2 is so fantastic. That's number 3. We're getting down into top 2, my top 2 favorite Stones. Top 2, number 2. A lot of people pick this for number 1, but it's number 2 in my collection. This here is Sticky Fingers. Now, this is the repress, reissue, pardon me, I think it's a 180 gram, 180 gram LP vinyl. So that's what this copy is, and this is the one that I play most of the time. But every Rolling Stone collector, LP collector, vinyl collector worth his weight gotta have the copy of Sticky Fingers with the working zipper. This was the original way it was released, with a working zipper, designed by Warhol. If you peek inside here, which I'm not sure I can give you the look, but if you peek inside here, oh, let's see. If you open the zipper, and this is like a little perforated belt that would open up as well. So you open the belt and pull the zipper down, and you can open it. And in here, you can see the model wearing underwear. See his legs? I don't think I can get you that. We can maybe look at this. This feels naughty. We're trying to get a look under, but you can see the model underneath with the underwear there if you have this copy of the vinyl. And we have the Rolling Stones, as I said, working with Andy Warhol, who designed this logo for them. And the Stones move into Rolling Stones Records, and they move into the branding of the tongue that becomes their marker, Universal. This is the first time it's introduced to us. And here's the photo of the band. Here's the boys. Mick like is yawning, I guess. And what else is going on there? Keith, you know, we see them all. Look at Charlie with long hair. Look at that. Wow. So there you go. Sticky Fingers, number 2 for me. What's on here? What are the cuts that are on here? Well, Brown Sugar, Sway, Wild Horses, Can't You Hear Me Knocking? Damn. And it closes out side 1 with You Gotta Move, which is also very good. Mick Taylor's our guitarist here. Side 2, flip it over. What happens on side 2? Does it drop off? Opens with Bitch. Look at that. I Got the Blues, Sister Morphine, Dead Flowers, one of my all-time ever Rolling Stones tunes. Dead Flowers on here, and Moonlight Mile. So there we go. Sticky Fingers. It's got the zip, zip, zip. So why are those zipper albums kind of rare? Well, I'll tell you. It's because of that zipper. And what they did was, you know, when they packed the albums to ship, they pack them on top of each other. And so albums were getting to record stores, and they're opening it up and taking out the albums. And that raised zipper was effing with the covers on all the albums. So albums were being what they considered ruined. Of course, you don't want your album with that, you know, mark from a zipper on it. And so they discontinued, and they moved away from that zipper. And that's why they're kind of rare. They're not really all that rare, though. You know, if you want to find one, you sure can. I found mine at the used record bin. But you can find them on eBay and around. They're around. It's not super rare, but if you don't have it, your Rolling Stones LP collection, don't call yourself a Rolling Stones LP collector, in my opinion. Number 1, my top favorite Rolling Stones album in my collection. Let It Bleed, baby. Let It Bleed. Stones at the height of their powers. Have I said that before? Rolling Stones just peaking here, man. Absolute fantastic album. What's on here? Let It Bleed, Love in Vain, Midnight Rambler. Look at this. This era of Stones is just so. Give Me Shelter. You Got the Silver. Can't Always Get What You Want. Live With Me, which I always preferred. Once again, that's another one of the cuts where I always preferred it live. Man, they do Live With Me so well live. So much energy. The energy level's kind of so-so here on the studio recording, but man, you see that live Live With Me? I love it, man. Monkey Man. I've only seen them do it once. And it's like my top maybe 2, 3, you know how you shuffle those top 3 songs? They always rotate. Well, Monkey Man is one of mine too. Maybe my favorite ever. I'm going to go out and say it's my best ever, favorite ever, Monkey Man. I'm a monkey! I love that song. And what else? Finally, Country Honk, which is their country version of Honky Tonk Woman. So there you go. there's my top 18 countdown to number 1 favorite. Let It Bleed, can't go wrong with that. Some people would have picked the other, Sticky Fingers, but if you switch the two, I mean, you can't go wrong. But that one just happens to be my favorite. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me through blah, blah, blah. And I'll see you next time with another video, and I'm going to rank some more of my groups because I went through all my collection in that time that I wasn't online with you guys. And I just played my records, listened to them, evaluated them, and then put them in order. So upcoming, we're going to see my favorite Clash albums ranked. We're going to see, what else? Neil Young, my Neil Young and Crazy Horse records ranked. Various like that. But those are a couple that are upcoming. Okay, I can tell you about Cars. I'm gonna rank my Cars albums for you. I'll tell you now, number 1, it's easy, right? It's the debut, of course. That should be number 1 in everybody's favorite Cars LPs. But you and I, who knows where we are on our differing opinions of all the other albums that follow that. So I'm gonna be doing that. And also I'll be showing you my favorite ska albums ranked. And so on, all right? So those are coming. My Bowie collection albums of vinyl ranked. So those are upcoming videos. Thanks for being with me, all right? It's been so long that I talked to you that now I can't stop. But let's stop. I'll see you next time. Thank you. 2023, what do we want? Peace.